Welcome back to Hall of Fame College Football with Jason and the coach. I'm your host, Jason Watkins. He's the coach, Philip Roybal, and we have our special guest, the other coach, Coach Riggs. And if you love college football, you know you're in the right place. So before you forget, smash that red subscriber button, like our videos, and don't forget to ring the bell so you don't miss one moment. Hall of Fame College Football. Coaches, welcome back.
What's going on,
Great to
Coach?
be
What's
back,
going
Coach Ricks,
on?
the
How's everything
man with a
going?
plan.
I was gonna say the same thing about you.
Hey, man. I always have to. I'm glad to have you both in here. Somebody got to keep my ass in line. So good to see you
Hey,
guys both
that
in
ain't
here.
no shit.
They're
Got to keep
definitely
y'all both in check.
this dude right here is always in some shit. Welcome into the show, Scott Walker, Kimberly K, Jimmy Satterfield, Stephen G. What's up, everybody? Welcome into the show. Make sure you wipe them feet as you come in. I know everybody in here already probably has, but thank you guys for popping in and joining us tonight. Coaches, I guess there's a lot of stuff to talk about. I know we kind of got into talking about it a little bit last week, Coach Roybal, about the college football playoff, adding to it. They had another meeting today, apparently, about trying to change the seedings, which we were all kind of talking about that kind of during the playoff, that you needed to change the seedings. I don't know that they're necessarily going to, because the Big 12 and the ACC has to agree to this. To me, and I almost kind of feel like maybe they shouldn't, because to me, I'm still of the opinion, I've got some more reasons for it, why. I'm still of the opinion that you shouldn't change all this shit to, you don't need 4 automatic qualifiers. You don't.
No.
It's
No.
unnecessary, and I think that you're alienating 3/4 of the country doing that.
Yep.
Let's say
Amen.
I don't know, man. And it's, but anyway, today they met at the Grand Hyatt at DFW, talking about potential changes to 2025 seeding and further expansion in the future. Most of it was centered around this next season, because obviously you have to make your decision on what you're going to do coming into the 2025 season. Come next year, they don't have to consult these guys anymore, right? But if you're the Big 12 and the ACC, in my opinion, I would hold out on it and be like, no, why? And here's the thing. They don't really have a lot of incentive to change it, because right now, if they win their conference, they get a bigger chunk of the pie because they make it to the next round.
Yep.
Right.
You know?
Well, Jason, they actually, the committee actually called me and asked me to come up to to Dallas and
I
visit
already
with
know
them.
what this is coming at.
They wanted my thoughts, and I simply told them, guys, I don't give a shit. So they moved on.
Well, my phone been off all day, so they probably called me too.
I think they did, Coach.
Listen, they ain't calling my ass. I can tell you that right now.
No matter what
Because
they do, you have a hard time getting all the ADs and commissioners and everything to agree on one thing. You think they're going to
Yeah.
agree on this? That's going to keep money out of some conference's pocket? They're not going to do that. I mean,
No.
like you said, Big 12 and ACC get a free bid in. So why would you want it to change?
right.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. I almost feel like when we start talking about the future of it, I mean, they make it look like it's a better deal, and I guess it is a better deal than what it is today, for the Big 12 and the ACC, because they're going to get 2 guaranteed spots. They got 3 between them last year, one of which shouldn't have been in at all. But my thing is that you don't need, if you're going to add 2 more or 4 more teams to this playoff bracket, which we all know that doesn't really have to happen. But if you're going to do that, then the thing is that you don't really have to do anything with it, because as I'm going to show you guys here in just a second, I actually have I've got this little deal here showing what it would have been if you'd have had a 12-team playoff going back 10 years.
Yeah.
How many years you would have had 4 teams in anyway, sometimes 5 teams, sometimes 6 teams for the SEC. And if you add it to 4, it's going to be limited to 4.
Oh, yeah.
Right? So they would almost be screwing themselves. Now, that came from the Athletic. In fact, I don't know for sure that it would be limited to 4. They might allow them to get more. Who knows? But the point being is, there's no point in doing all of this stuff. Just by adding those other teams, you've already got all the advantages. You've already got all the advantages. You got all the money. You've got, the best. You're making these scheduling things and stuff like that. But there's a couple of sides to it that you feel like, okay, well, you want them to go to 9 games. I want them to go to 9 games in the SEC because I want to see you keep the rivalries.
Yep.
Which is what college football is about. Coach Roybal, my worry about this is that we're fucking this whole thing up at the time that the golden goose is here.
Oh, I don't think there's any doubt. I mean, and they're just there's not any rhyme or reason to me to what some of the things that they're doing. And again, I think from the SEC and the Big Ten, they're trying to take advantage, but at the end of the day, they could end up fucking themselves.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, and so I don't want to, it's all in that, and this happens all the time in the world, but greed will kick your ass. And I think that they're working down that pathway of letting greed get the best of both of those conferences. And again, you're right. I mean, and also not just the two conferences, but college football as a whole, because like you said earlier, you're alienating a hell of a lot more teams than you're helping. And college football it's been a great sport, and has it been perfect? No. But I guarantee you, we're screwing it up worse now than ever. And I just hope we don't screw up college football enough that we lose all the fan base. And there's only maybe 8 teams that their fans are into college football, and the rest of them really don't give a shit about what's going on with college football. And that's the biggest thing that scares me. And it's all about greed. It's greed. Greed.
Oh yeah.
Well, and that's the problem with it. And that's where I feel like you, and even listen, I went back through that and what I was talking about in the column, and you guys read it. I know you did that.
Yeah.
Even ESPN is telling them, don't do this.
Exactly.
Don't do it. Because if you do, and when you do, you're going to alienate too much of the country. And look, the reason that it has continued to generate more and more and more revenue, right, is because of the fact that, yes, it's fun to watch and everything, but everybody's had an opportunity to get in. Now, let's not get it twisted. Some got better opportunities than others, right?
Sure.
And that's always going to be that way.
But that's always good. Yeah.
It's always going to be that way. But when you go and you bake in more opportunities, when you have more money, you've got better programs that, have more ability and resources to be able to go and get those guys. It's just not the right way to go, because here's what happens. In the end, I feel like, the Big 12 and the ACC could be like, man, forget this. Why are we going to continue doing this? Now, as long as they're giving them that second team. Now, I invited Bomber to come in. Bomber, check your Twitter if you want to pop in real quick. Because I want to talk to somebody who's from that side of it too. And, having talked to JJ and some of those guys too, I think most people are in agreement. And I think even most ACC or SEC and Big Ten fans know that there's the only thing you can really do right now is fuck this up. Leave it alone for a minute. Don't take a sledgehammer to it. Make little adjustments.
The only thing they needed to do to this is take out those automatic qualifiers. The automatic bids. Yeah. If they'd have taken that out, we could live with it for a while longer. And even if they added teams, I don't care. I mean, from my perspective as a Notre Dame fan, hell, add more teams. Shit, I love it, because I guarantee you, I know we'll be in the top 16, top 14. But at the end of the day, don't screw it all up. give it a chance to play itself out, and let's learn from our mistakes. And the mistake we should have learned from is, no audit. And I tell you what, it's bad for those guys that got those buys
Oh hell, yeah.
because you saw what happened to their asses.
Got their ass spanked.
They, boom, right, first rattle out of the box. I don't want a damn buy. I want to play.
You know what it is, Coach and Jason. This is what it all is. This is why the Big Ten and the SEC is trying to bamboozle the Big 12 and the ACC, because this is what's going to happen. If you put more teams in, then we're going to start going to, well, the SEC played a stronger conference, played a stronger this. If a Big 12 comes in and they're 9-3, but you got two other teams in the SEC that's got 9-3, who in the hell gonna get in? You already know what they're gonna do. They're gonna put those two SEC teams in, and then they're gonna screw the Big 12 out of one of their slots. That's what this is all about. It's trying to get as many Big 10 and SEC schools in there so they'll get the money. That's what this is all about.
But why the hell do you want an invitational if you're the SEC and the Big Ten is my question. Why do you want that? We're going to play already. They're doing this scheduling deal where we're going to play them every year anyway. Why the shit do you want that to be the regular season and the postseason and everything in between? Why? Make
Like
it
Coach,
make sense.
like Coach said, money makes you do stupid shit. Money makes you do stupid shit.
There's two things that make you. There's two things that make you do stupid shit: money, and I can't say the other one on here.
Yeah. Kimberly K's in here. Relax.
Bummer.
Hey guys, how we doing?
Welcome to the show.
Oh,
sir.
look at him growing the beard out. Okay.
A little bit, yeah.
The little whiskers.
A little bit. Now I feel
Little peach
naked. I
fuzz.
don't have my hat on, so hope everybody knows where I'm coming from.
It's all good, my man. It's all good. Hey, man, it's good to see you. Welcome in. And look, obviously, I'm sure you've seen that they were having that meeting today. They're in Dallas talking about the seedings. What are you hearing as far as where's the Big 12 and the ACC at? It doesn't seem to me like they have any incentive whatsoever to make any changes to the 2025.
Only if they're given additional, like right now, each conference gets one bye, right?
Yeah.
And if they're to add two teams, that's more opportunity to play. But I think this next year is going to be tough to pull that off. It has to be unanimous.
Right.
That means all the G5 conferences in the Pac-12 would have to agree. So the chance that they make major changes is very small. They could go to 14 teams. And then I think in trade they would change the seeding. So there's the conference auto bids, but nobody is guaranteed their spot. That means in Ohio State last year might have ended up with a 3 seed, for instance, right? You can lose more than one game and still get a top seed if you're ranked that high in the CFP rankings. So it just depends where people put the value. Where are they really paying attention? As a Big 12, and I'll speak for the ACC as well. We want more opportunity. You want more teams in, but I think and I know Coach doesn't like this, but you go to some sort of an auto placement, so you have a number representing the conference. Right now, the big winner is 44221. But I don't know if we're going to get there. Certainly by 2025, I'm not sure that's going to happen. But 2026, everybody just needs to brace themselves for these auto positions for these conferences. And as far as the Big 12 and the ACC
are auto seeding as well. So
nope,
not
auto seeding, just getting in the tournament.
Okay, so auto bids.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody minds auto bids so much. I think that my deal is that I don't feel like
Coach doesn't like it. I know that.
I don't love auto bids at all. I don't love any auto bid, but I like it if it's going to be if it's if it's to keep access for the Big 12 and the ACC. I'm for that.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, I just don't think you need to put them in a 3rd seed or a 4th seed. In fact, I want to get rid of all the buys. I want to go to 16 teams.
I love that part. Yeah.
Top to bottom, 1 to 16, rank them, Put them out
Thank
on a
you.
football field. All the first
Keyword.
I
round
love
Thank
you,
you.
are
Bomber.
home
I love
games,
you, man.
and let's
Rank
play
'em.
some football, right? That's what
Amen.
we should have had in the 80s.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Ranking. What you
No
just
damn,
said
no
is the
damn
main thing.
buys. Let's everybody play every round,
Yes.
And as you get your ass beat, you take your ass and go home and start off season.
That's right. You don't have these excuse makers like at Oregon who are complaining by their seed, the fact that they didn't play ball. It's their fault that they lost to Ohio State. No, they got beat by Ohio State because Ohio State was the best team at the end of the season. So get rid of the buys, and you never have those conversations again.
Bomber, I don't give a damn what it is. Once you get in the dance, you got to play everybody anyway.
Absolutely. That's
So it
Hey,
don't
exactly
really
right.
matter.
Exactly right.
I've been saying that for years. I don't give a shit if we get in as the last team,
Long as we in.
I don't care if we're 16 and
Yep.
we play one. Guess
Yes.
what? You got to beat those motherfuckers to win it anyway.
That's right.
Yeah.
So
And
why cry about it?
totally exactly right. And I think at the end of the day, it's not fair. There is no fair in life, right? We all know fair doesn't exist.
Or they judge pigs. They judge pigs with the fair.
But it's about access. And as long as you have access, as long as you can get your team in the tournament, even at 16, you have just as much opportunity to get to the championship as anybody else.
True.
Yep.
I agree.
I'm with you. I'm with you.
Yeah, I think that overall, it just feels like. Hold on, I'm coming. I'm getting right to you there, Big Vogue. I gotta find a way here. I'm working on it though. Look, I think overall you have to look at it in terms of it. I don't have a problem with the access part. My problem is giving another advantage to the two conferences that have all the advantages. To have an extra two teams over the rest of the field. First of all, you're going to get it anyway. You don't need to go and mandate it because you're going to get it.
Right.
Because they're going to, if you have it in there to where, you go by strength of schedule, you go by some of these things that is real, then you can accomplish what you're trying to accomplish. Nothing needs to be given to anyone as far as extra over somebody else. And if anybody needs a leg up, it is not the SEC or the Big Ten. It isn't.
And neither do they need it. Right?
Correct.
You guys have the most money. You have the most recruiting. All the advantages. You don't need those additional things. And
Correct.
Lane Kiffin, go cry yourself to sleep on a pillow on a pillow somewhere over in Africa or something, because you lose 3 games in the SEC. You got nobody to blame but yourself for not getting into the tournament, right? Beat somebody that's real, and now all of a sudden. That's right.
Shut up, Coach Ricks.
Well,
get
Big Bogue in here.
I'm working on it. Damn it! Keep on talking. Shut up.
Hey, so let me say this too. I like the 16 teams, but I'm gonna play devil's advocate here, because out of those 16 teams, not all of them have a chance to win it. I mean, let's just face the cold hard facts. There's still, at this point, there's that short list of people that can win the national championship is short.
Yes.
And yeah, I love the 16 because there's more games and more football, and at 16 at least you can take the 16 top ranked teams in the poll,
right?
And let's get after it. Okay. And football is completely different. People talk about, they do it in March Madness. Well, March Madness, first of all, them some bitches dribbling around, 5 guys dribbling around a damn ball. Anything can happen on any given night. You can't compare that shit to college football. And I don't care how you slice it or dice it. Those are 2 different worlds. And so you can have a Cinderella in college basketball, but you're not going to see that. You may never see it, but never is a strong word.
Recruiting is so different from a 16 seed and a 1 seed. Their recruiting is crazy. So you're not going to see that. But I do like to point what you said, Coach, about just playing the game. Just play the game. I don't care what seed I am as long as I get in there.
No,
Because at
that's
the
right.
end of the day, the reason the ones that complain, they want them to play the harder teams. So when they play them, they'll be hurt, they'll be weak, or whatever.
Right.
You have to play the damn game. I've always tell people that, regardless of whatever it is, you still got to play that damn game. And that's why I don't understand why everybody's bitching and complaining about, oh, Oregon should have been a higher seed, or Oregon shouldn't have played.
That's
Look, you can't
nonsense.
get an easy schedule and get to the bowl game and then get your ass blowed out. You want to get tested.
Well, that was just like Notre Dame this year. I didn't give a shit where they put them. At the end of the day, it didn't make a damn where they put them. We had obviously Notre Dame fans bitching, moaning, complaining. Oh God, they should have gotten the 5 seed. Who gives a shit? We still got to play, and that's my whole point. And just like you're saying, Coach, hell, let's just play the damn games, and the good ones will come out at the end. And
So,
there's a lot of shit that goes into that too, as y'all well know. Injuries. I mean, the list goes on
yes.
of things that affect a football team throughout the course of the season, and especially down the stretch to the championship.
What has been the one, and you guys are old and long in the tooth like I am. What's the one thing that has been keeping college football back for decades? It's been access
Yeah.
for everybody to have a chance to play for a championship.
Yep.
It's the one thing that separates itself from all of the
Oh,
sport and the rest of the world is they don't have access because there's been no real tournament. That's why a 16 team format that has something similar to a basketball tournament. For heaven's sakes, if Division II can do it, any that
thank you.
oh, by the way, you class in January. You can't go. Shut the hell up. You're all professional athletes. You go out and you play, right?
Yeah.
So those
Yeah.
excuses are gone. Just get the thing put together and let's go play ball.
No argument from here. No argument from here.
Hey.
Welcome to the show.
Hey.
My Monday co-host, who didn't get to co-host with me on Monday, Michael Boganowski Sr. Welcome in, big dog.
What up?
What's up, brother?
Not much, man. Just getting home from a little basketball practice, man. Trying to tune in and play catch up with y'all.
Well,
Yeah.
hey, I'm glad you just got in here because I was talking shit about basketball.
I mean, yeah. Hey, feel free.
No,
The state of basketball is in a crux right now, man. It's teetering on borderline unwatchable, and I don't know, man. I try to watch it. I try to put in some work, and I just find myself looking at my phone instead of watching the game.
The fundamentals is dead.
It's bad, man. I'm tired of pick and roll and switching and one-on-ones and three balls. It's just nothing but threes, and it just gets old.
The fundamentals are not dead in the Roy Ball house. As a matter of fact, my grandson's 9, and he's playing basketball. And guys, if you got to see my grandson. He's a 4th grader. He's 9 years old, and he's 5'5". He's as tall as my wife.
Wow.
He's 5'5", and he weighs 260.
No,
And
stop.
I'm not lying to you.
A 9-year-old.
Hey, he the new Charles Barkley.
That's not healthy, Coach. That is not healthy.
Hey, I'm telling you,
9-year-old
he played football. First time for tackle football this year. I felt sorry for those kids on the other side of the line of scrimmage. He was massacring
crazy.
kids.
Hey, so like my one goal this year with this 5th graders was for them to be able to fundamentally do a left-handed layup, right?
Oh, there you go.
Taking off on the right foot, dribbling all the way with their left hand, and shooting a left-hand layup. You know what I mean? And every tournament I go to, watching kids warm up, we are the only team that even attempts it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And all these kids want to be Kyrie and be all jelly. And I'm trying to tell them you can't do that unless you are able to shoot, or able to do a left-handed layup.
Absolutely.
Anybody who wants to listen, I tell you, Steph Curry killed the game of basketball.
Yeah.
Everybody want to try to
Absolutely.
shoot 30, 43.
Everybody want to be. Yep.
I saw a kid breakaway layup. They down by 1. He pulls up a 3. Coach came
geez.
unglued.
Yeah, hey, these
Geez.
kids, I'm telling you, this 5th grade, I mean, we played against teams, man. All they're doing is step backs and step back threes and just coming down
Analytics killed the
and
damn
pulling,
game.
bro. They're just pulling.
Analytics.
Hey,
And I tell my kids, I'm like, hey, we're packing the paint. You know what I mean? If they want to just come down and jack up a 3, let them. We're going to play, man. We're going to play good defense. They're starting to get they're starting to see the rotations.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When playing,
but if you teach it to them,
it's been a test of patience. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Like,
well, that's what I was going to tell
man.
y'all earlier. The fundamentals are here because my grandson tonight had practice. He plays basketball. He had practice at 7 to 8 tonight. But you know what? We went and practiced this afternoon, a pre-practice to the practice. Because we work on things you're talking about, Coach, on the fundamentals. And we worked on shooting the ball correctly. We work on boxing out. We work on, playing defense versus in a zone and a man. So he don't, and I go and watch his practices. You don't see that at the practices.
Oh, hell.
I mean, they don't work those things.
I have trouble. I definitely have trouble with getting in the box out. I have not yet cracked that code.
You know what the funnest drill for ours for when because I have helped coach a couple of times, and when he's not there, I've helped, and we did our own box out drills and stuff. But I put the ball at half court.
Yep.
I get 5 kids around the circle, and the other 5 are on defense, and
keep the
I blow the whistle. I blow the whistle, and the guys on the inside got to turn around and box out, and the other guys are scrapping for the ball, and it is on like Donkey Kong.
Well, now they'll do it in practice all the time, but get in the game. That ain't happening.
Forget about it.
Joe can shoot the ball. They all like this.
All right. Well, hey, thank you, Neilio, for the super chat. He did that through Venmo. You guys can always give us a super chat through the channel, or you can hit up Venmo or Cash App. It's in the description as well. It always helps us out whenever you do that as well, because we don't only end up giving up 40% of it that way. So, well, anyway, though, we enjoy having you in here there, Big Bogue. Sorry we didn't get on there yesterday, but listen, let's obviously get back to what we were talking about here with this deal. I feel like, I don't know, I guess I hadn't gotten everybody's opinion about in Big Bogue. What is your thoughts about the getting the 4 teams into the playoff for the SEC and Big Ten? Do you feel like that's something that needs to be mandated?
No, I'm not a big fan of it. I want the best teams in it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's how I feel. I just want the best teams in it. I want the best possible, toughest possible playoff scenario, right? Like, I just want the best teams. I want it to start earlier. I just want them to be able to seed it correctly and just get the best teams in there, man. Like, I don't know. I don't know. I've been listening to a lot of stuff and been thinking about it. I just don't know if the SEC and the Big Ten mandating 4 teams, I just don't know what that does other than just. But I mean, they're just bullying the NCAA, right? Because they have to listen. The NCAA has to listen because they know they don't have a say.
Well, they don't.
You know, they don't.
This is not just. This isn't even just the commissioners. We can talk about the commissioners all you want to. The truth is, this is conference presidents. These are school presidents that are making these choices on going after it all the way, because we've already heard. ESPN has said I think that's one thing that people paid less attention to out of Ross Dellinger's report, was that you had somebody that flat out said in there, look, that's going down the road to no return there. That you're going to end up alienating the biggest part of the country, and people are going to stop watching it. They're going to lose interest. That's where this all comes apart. Right now, we talked about this last week, Bomber. You don't think that they're going to kill the golden goose? I think they're already killing it.
Sure they are.
I think they're already killing it, and because they look. The fact is, you got where you got. If you're the SEC, for instance, you won 16 out of the last 19 or whatever it is, right? You did that without any heads. You didn't have any other advantages other than the fact that you had money and things like that that not everybody has. But the truth, you didn't have a step up above everybody where we have to have 4 teams in. You competed your way into that, right?
And I tell you, Jason, you said something just then in that statement. The college presidents are the ones making these decisions ultimately. And I almost hate to say this because I came really close to becoming a college president, but I will tell you this. Most of those some bitches ain't never put on a jock strap.
Less about sports too. Could give a shit.
And that's my point. That's my whole point. They're making these decisions, but when you've never competed in sports, how are you going to make good decisions for the sport itself? And again, they're more worried about the damn money, and they want to be able to puff their chest out and say, well, you know what, we're bringing in X million of dollars to our university. And so they're making the decisions, but they don't understand the damn sport, and they're not helping the sport.
I agree 100%. I think that there's no two ways around it. This is not about the good of the game. And that's where I have a problem with it. Look, I've said this a bunch of times, man. I'm an Oklahoma fan. They're in the SEC. We don't have to worry about nothing unless there's not a sport left. And I mean, we're talking about a situation where if 75% of the country doesn't want to watch it because their school has zero chance of ever competing in it, then why would you even do it?
So,
why would they watch it?
So,
Go ahead.
Jason, how many schools need to be involved in a tournament to keep that interest up? Right now, there's 134 FBS schools that technically all play at the same level. How many schools out of that many need to be involved to make it not only legitimate because you've given enough access to not just the power schools, even we'll say power conferences.
Sure.
How many need to be included so that it's a true people from the outside, people that don't watch college sports at all, people in Germany could look at it and say that is a true champion. How many schools need to be involved to make that work?
Every one of them in the 4 conferences that are at the top.
The power conferences. You're talking about, so what is that with SMU?
About 64, 65 of them, right?
I think it's 69 now, actually.
Okay, whatever.
Hey, that's my favorite number, boys and girls.
So you think let's just say it's 70. Let's round it out.
Okay.
72. Oh, no. Keep it at 69.
Okay, fine, 69 for coach. If it's 69, right? That's more than half, right? That's more than half of 135.
Yeah.
In my opinion, that is a fantastic number. I love that. I think that lends a lot of credibility to the entire activity. What if it's only 40? In my opinion, that's where you kill the golden goose.
No matter what number you give, there is going to always be a subjective answer to it because
absolutely.
If you say 39, well, it should have been 42.
Absolutely.
Say 42, it should have been 51. I mean, so there's always going to be
that's right.
some group or some conference that says that we should have been in there.
Yes.
And so that's where you always have that debate.
It'll always
and
be
you know
there.
what, guys? And you know what? You take that number, for example, to 69. Okay, and then you take the other number, the rest of them, and why can't we play 2 national championship games?
You can.
And now that again piques the interest of those that, hey, they may not have a shot, but now they do. They've got a chance. So you end up with 2 national champions. And shit, if you got big balls enough, play those two at the end against each other. I mean, if
you really want to look, the reason that the G5 doesn't want out of it is because right now it's a payday for them too.
Yep.
Right. Let's make no mistake about it. As long as they're a part of this college football playoff, they've got money. They've got money in there. Okay. But to me, there's a snowball's chance in hell for them to look, man. Boise State, and they're one of the better programs in the group of 5, period. I mean, without a doubt. They've had their moments where they've had good years, and they beat Oklahoma on the Statue of Liberty that year, all that stuff. You know what I mean? They've always – Chris Peterson isn't there anymore, though, by the way. And so it's not like we're going to see the same thing. But even those guys – somebody said something the other day about it was pretty competitive with Penn State. The hell it was. And Penn State wasn't even that fucking good. They got lucky that they played SMU and Boise. In the end, I mean, I've said this plenty of times. I don't think SMU belonged anywhere close to the playoff because they didn't. The teams that they played, they got beat by them. BYU kicked their ass at home. They didn't even score a touchdown in the game.
Yeah, don't get me started. Don't get me started with BYU getting screwed. So
no, that's what I'm saying. But see that's what I said in the column, and this is where I'm at. What this was supposed to do when you expanded the playoff was to keep there from being people getting fucked.
Yep.
Like Florida State last year that's undefeated, and because they lost their quarterback, they're out. Now, do I think that they were going to go in and win in the tournament? No, I don't. Do I understand why they kept them out of the 14 playoff?
Yeah.
At least kind of. Do I think it was fair? No, it wasn't fair. No, it wasn't fair. Right? As a college football fan, I didn't want to watch their third string quarterback either. But that's neither here nor there. The bottom line is you have to give true. Well, you were going for fairness, and now we're just getting crazy greedy, and it just doesn't make any sense to me why you would go there. One of the things that I wanted to bring up was something I saw on The Athletic today, which I thought was pretty interesting because of the fact, and we could get off of this subject after this. I want to talk about a few other things anyway. But one of the things. Huh?
I say, here we go with the Athletic.
The old Athletic. Yeah, I get it, bro. Real quick, though. All right. So, oops. If you notice here, this would be the last 10 years. And this is somebody he's pissed off about doing this extra stuff on the playoff and all that stuff as well. All right. So in 2014, you would have had, this is how many teams would have gotten into a 12-team playoff is what it is right now, right? So you would have had 2 SEC teams. You would have had 4 Big 12 teams, apparently, 3 Big 10, 4 SECs, and, of course, your group of 5. Notre Dame would have made it in 2015, 2018, 2020, 2021, and, of course, last year, as we did anyway, right? But a lot of these years, let's just say if you had actually had it to where you were mandated to get your 4, that's all you're going to get, right? Look, there was years that the SEC would have screwed themselves. And what they were talking about in there, and let me pull that article back up because it's a trip. There was years that you would have ended up with there was one year that I believe he was saying that there was an 8-4 or 9-3 Virginia team that would have made it in over Alabama at 11-1 or 10-2 into a 12-team playoff that year because of mandating it. So not only are you not, I think it's unnecessary for you to need 4 automatic bids every year. Not only that, I don't even think it really helps you all the time. I think it's showing right here that it wouldn't. It's showing right here that it wouldn't. Let me get back into that.
Dude, that 2023 year, man. 5 from the Big 10 and 6 from the SEC.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's
right.
crazy.
But if you have the 4-team deal and it's just that 4, then you miss out on the other 2 teams getting in. So you would have screwed yourself with that little rule.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
that's where I feel like it's just dumb. Yeah, and that's what Stuart Mandel is his column. He's saying it's as dumb as it sounds. He said the total number of bursts over that period would barely be different, and in some cases it would have backfired. Like in 2019, when under the current rules, the SEC would have qualified 5 teams. The ACC just 1, but under SEC's own proposal, number 24 Virginia at 9-4, the ACC's second place team would have been in, while number 13 Alabama at 10-2, which would have earned the last at-large bid, would be out. This is a 14-team playoff. Had there been a 14-team playoff all along, but with only the 5 highest-ranked conference champions getting auto bursts, the yearly averages largely mirror what's being proposed using current conference membership. So the Big Ten and SEC each averaged 4.2 entrants per season over the last 10 years if it was a 14-team playoff. The ACC and the Big 12 would have averaged 2.1. So essentially it would have been what they're talking about. The group of 5, Notre Dame, the group of 5 would have averaged 1 a year, and Notre Dame would have been about half a year. Every other year you're basically getting in, which makes sense because you're not in a conference. So you could get in, how many times are you going to be in the top 15? Could be a lot of times, moving forward. It may not be
more than when we had Kelly.
Correct. Well, yeah, no. I'm just saying it just kind of depends on what part you're in at the moment, right?
Right.
But no one is going to be tracking 11-year averages on Selection Sunday. All that matters is who should or shouldn't have gotten in that particular season. And not once over those 11 seasons did the split among the Power 4 naturally land on 4-4-2-2. In essentially what he's talking about, are you noticing the recurring theme? This is dumb. You would have had number 14 Auburn at one point at 8-4, Florida at 8-4, USC at 9-3, Louisville at 9-3, a bunch of 8-4. Oklahoma State at 9-4 would have made it in one of those years. Syracuse at 9-3. Are you shitting me? Kentucky at 9-3. What the fuck? It's a mess. The point is, there's no reason to do it because guess what? There's going to be years that you're just going to be good enough that you're going to get 5 or 6 teams in there. You're going to get them.
Yeah.
Just by virtue of adding the 2 or 4 more teams because they're at-large bids, you could just add those teams anyway. Hell, if it hadn't been for Alabama losing to either Oklahoma or Vandy last year, they're in. If Ole Miss doesn't lose to Kentucky at home, they're in instead of SMU. Now, they still should have been in instead of SMU. Whatever. Indiana didn't probably belong in any more than that either because they didn't play anybody. And that's where, if you're going to make changes, make those changes. Fix it to where the schedule, the strength of schedule doesn't matter. Make it matter. Make it matter. Start scheduling instead of making sure that you have to have 9 conference games. Why don't you go to 6? Play all your rivals and then play interconference games throughout the year in the Power 4. And that way everybody has a little bit more of an even schedule. Do that.
It's very creative, Jason. Sorry, was my mic
Go ahead.
up?
No, go ahead.
It's very creative, but there's a lot of complications with that. You have all the broadcast challenges. You have conferences that have Notre Dame being the biggest, turd in the bowl at the end of the day because they and this isn't on coach, it's the school. They're the one school you can basically say they get to do whatever they want. They have their own broadcast partner. They can go where they go. So what you're saying is great in an altruistic world where everything is equal. This would work. But at the end of the day, everybody knows 75% of the viewing public watches the SEC and the Big Ten. Money is going to follow those two conferences. You cannot change those demographics. So the ACC and the Big 12 are that's why it's 4-4-2-2, is because the media dollars are going to those two big conferences. Now, as far as competition goes, sure, you want more out of conference games, but I would prefer every conference play 9 conference games, make it equal, and then you can start talking about cross-pollination games. Go ahead, Coach.
No, I was just gonna say, I at the end of the day, I don't give a shit who's playing how many against each other in the conference. Right. But I think there's conferences that it makes a difference when you're playing. I'm going to use these two conferences: the SEC playing 9 and the Big 12 playing 9. That's two whole different worlds to me. And I've just got to tell you, and I know, Bomber, you won't like this, but I don't think the Big 12 is worth a shit.
Okay.
I think when Texas left and OU left, I think they became mediocre at best. And that's just my personal.
The only way you know that, though, is if you play the games. It's easy to say that sitting at home, but
I agree
if you
with
don't
what
play
you're
games
saying.
in the tournament,
it's easy for me to say when I watch them.
But it's also
hold on.
No, there was also
I would argue that BYU could have beat Notre Dame this next year. I would argue BYU.
You could have argued it, but hell, y'all couldn't even win all your conference games.
Look, here's the thing.
You lost to NIU, Coach.
Yeah, exactly.
This goes round and round.
And then we beat the shit out of everybody else.
Right.
So y'all could have beat Georgia too, right?
I didn't say that. I
mean, no, I know, but if you start comparisons, I mean, we can't compare it that way.
That's college football. That's the problem.
That is the problem.
You know what, Jason? You want to know my big idea? Nathan Brown takes over all of college football.
You the czar?
I'm the czar. I build a Premier League, and everybody has to play to stay in. I build a 40-team, a 60-team Premier League, and then you drop 5 to 10 teams every year that can't stay up and compete. You have to qualify.
I don't have a problem with that. I think that if you want, with FBS, if you want to stay with it, because here's the thing. The truth is, FCS at the top level of FCS would beat the shit out of most of those group of 5 schools from year to year.
Sure.
Well, and again, guys, the group of 5 schools, they don't even need to be in this shit. They need to have their own playoff. It's ridiculous that they're even in here. Just like I was saying earlier, you can have a damn G5 or one of the G5 teams. You can have a Cinderella in March Madness, but you ain't going to have a damn Cinderella in college football.
No, I agree with that.
There's a huge difference in basketball.
Yeah.
When you were saying that earlier, I let you go with it because you're right, though. But you're absolutely right. One guy makes a huge difference on a basketball team.
Yes.
One guy. Think about Steph Curry back in the day at Davidson, going all the way to the fucking Final Four. They had a bunch of white boys in him.
Well, that was me. I made all the difference in our basketball team. We lost every fucking game.
And I mean, not tall white guys that I'm talking about. I'm talking about the little short bastards.
You know, Jason, you know why a Premier League is beautiful? I don't know if you guys watch any soccer, right? Nobody in America likes soccer.
I don't mind the English Premier League and some of those other ones.
Champions League is the top of the top, right? It has the best brands in all the world playing for one championship.
Yep.
And they're put into a tournament, and they have to qualify every year. If you're not good, you drop out, right? So you earn your way back in, and it forces people to spend on all their resources. NIL forces them to do all the revenue sharing, forces them to build up all their facilities, has to increase all of their recruiting, and it makes you compete every single year. And Notre Dame, Ohio State, Oklahoma, Alabama, Georgia, those schools are never going to drop out. Those schools are never going to be out of that league. But the bottom, and whatever that number is, 4 to 10, has to earn their way in every year. And you get rid of the annual conference, annual school matchups for out-of-conference games. Get rid of those entirely. and you schedule only the teams inside that Super League.
I like it.
I don't know why. I proposed it 2 years ago on 365 Sports, and I got no run. And I think it's the best solution of all of them.
Well, and I tell you why you didn't get any run, because people aren't used to that in college football.
That's absolutely true.
That's the only reason.
Right.
Because they're used to the status quo, which I think as we rock along here, we might be able to see that arise again because of the huge changes that have been made to college football recently. So we may be starting to, well, not maybe, we are getting out of the status quo.
Right.
And maybe now it would be more acceptable.
I think it'd be wonderful. And you get bonuses when you join when in the Premier League. If you qualify for the Premier League, you get like $240 million to invest in your team so you can be competitive. Right.
Yeah.
And most of those places, they won't spend the money on players. They'll spend it on paying their bills. But in college football, it works a little bit differently. Right now, college football is the only major tournament in the entire world that isn't settled on a major playoff format. It's the only one.
I like
it's never been, but here's the thing about, there's a difference in the highest of the high in college football, which is where we are right here, what we're talking about.
Sure.
There's a difference in even the power two, the big two, if you want to call it that,
right,
and the other two. There's a difference. And that's what Coach is talking about. Now, what I will say is this. I don't think that it's exactly the same as what it was 3 or 4 or 5 years ago before NIL and being able to portal out anytime you fucking feel like it, all that other shit.
Well, and them some bitches like Alabama can't just, and Georgia bring everybody, and they have,
correct,
5-star players, one first, second, third, fourth team, and nobody else can get their hands on them.
Do I think that that's sustainable? I don't know that it is, because I think that the money difference is going to be so big over the next 2, 3, 4 years. I think it makes it very hard for you to keep up, because they can afford to pay more. Yeah, and we can talk about rev share, but it's not going to be about rev share, because the rev share is the cost of doing business just to be in the.
That's right.
That gets you in the game.
That's right.
That's all that is your ante to play poker.
That's your entry fee. Exactly right.
Right.
That's
it's
exactly
buying the ticket. Now, once you get there, you got to buy drinks.
Agreed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so, and that's where I think that the difference comes in. And don't get it twisted. And I've said this a million fucking times. If you think that they want this shit to be fair, you're deluding yourself. They don't want it to be fair. They clearly don't want it to be fair. But the point is, none of this is moving towards fairness. I think the best way, but the smartest and the only way to go about this is, if you're the SEC and the Big Ten, is to be like, look, it has to be an even playing field for the Power Four. It has to be. That way, nobody says shit. You're opening your nose up by doing it this way, in my opinion. You're just opening your nose up for nothing but headache. And when you start dominating, because you're going to, they're not going to say it's because you're the best league. They're going to say it's because you have all the advantages, because you have 4 shots at winning it every year. That's better than 2. That's double 2. The chances of an ACC or a Big 12 team winning the dance are slim and none. And Slim is getting ready to walk out. He's out of drink money. He's out of drink money, man. Go ahead, Bo. You got something? You've been smiling a lot.
Yeah, I'm laughing. I'm laughing at your. Well, one, I was laughing at Coach's little tag tripod. That made me laugh.
It's funny.
That made me laugh. But I'm laughing at Neilio and you going back and forth over Steph Curry. That was making me laugh.
Oh yeah, Neilio. I think I may be wrong about that.
You are wrong. You're 100%
yeah,
wrong.
They did lose in the Elite Eight. That's right. My fault.
No, this is making me laugh.
I mean, but think about that though. What was the rest of that squad though? The point stands. The point still stands. It's different to have that one guy on a basketball team than it is to have even a guy like, you can be the best player.
That's why football is the ultimate team game.
Correct.
It's ultimate team.
the GOAT argument about Tom Brady.
One guy can be overcome,
Stuff.
right? Let's look at Lamar Jackson every year, right? Lamar Jackson destroys everybody every year. You know what I mean? Also, all regular season long, but
can't hit the broadside of a fucking barn.
And then all of a sudden, you get a team, that can somewhat neutralize them and slow them down a little bit. And the Baltimore Ravens forget that they got Derrick Henry on the team and want to throw the ball 45 times a game. But it is what it is.
Guy that can't throw for shit. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. They got some big moves to make, and I've said this before, and I'll say it again. I just think that college football is going to move away from the NCAA, and the only thing that's going to be in the NCAA is basketball in the College World Series. I'm just the writing on the wall. All signs kind of point to that. And I was listening to a guy talk about this Super League, that they're thinking about making, and who knows, man? But it's at a crossroads. College football is, and we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens, man. It's going to be interesting.
Yeah, I agree. Hey, Bomber, I did want to clarify something.
What's that?
As I made the statement about the Big 12 sucks.
Right.
I wanted to clarify that and Jason will back me up on this. I don't even believe BYU should be in the Big 12. They're a better football team than to be in the Big 12. And I love y'all's head coach.
I know you do. I know.
He is friggin' incredible.
I also think that it's reinventing the conference, right, Coach? I mean, I agree with in the greater scheme of things. I don't think that the Big 12 is as good as, say, the SEC for sure. I don't think that they're as far away from the Big 10, except for at the very top of the Big 10. I don't think that the Big 10's very good. I don't think that you think that the Big 10's very good outside of their top.
No, they're at the top. And even the top, it's a short list.
But that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I do think that as far as competitive wise goes, look, you had 4 teams that were tied for the lead in the conference last year.
Well, but that can be looked at 2 different ways.
Okay. Go ahead.
I mean, there's a flip side to that. Just because there's 4 teams tied for first doesn't mean they're good. It could mean they're all not very good. There's a flip side to it.
Look, man, I put it to you this. I think that Arizona State was pretty damn good.
Oh, I agree.
You ain't gonna get no arguments from me, man. They should have beat Texas.
Well,
yes, sir.
They should have beat Texas' ass.
They should have.
But again, I think that part of that could have been. I mean, you can say a million things, and I'm not gonna make a bunch of excuses here. I mean, we saw what we saw. We saw the game, but they didn't really start. They didn't really get started till halftime. Kind of like the rest of the teams with a bye.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody that had a bye week 1.
Nope.
Yeah. I don't know, man. And in the end, I do think that it's a competitive league, though. As far as top, it's a fun league to watch. I love football, and I'll watch all the way down to the low levels of it. I don't give a shit. You know me. But again, I think that as long as you give them their opportunities to get in, and you know what, you're going to have your years that maybe they make a deep run in it. Maybe there's going to be a team here or there. I think that Kalani can put it together. Shit, they weren't supposed to do anything last year.
Nope.
Weren't y'all picked last?
Last. Or
Arizona State was 16, BYU was 13. Yeah.
Well, okay, I got to tell you, I got to tell you, I was a year ahead because I said they were going to win it last year.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
And I got to go after this, but I'll leave you on this note. The thing that's going to win championships going forward is culture. The teams that have the best culture are going to win the most games because everybody's going to have access to the same money. It's not going to be like it used to be where the bagmen would show up and, SMU and pony up and all that fun stuff. Those days are gone. Now everybody can write a check. Everybody can find a billionaire to bring in the best player.
True.
From that standpoint, there's no school that's limited as long as they opt in, and third-party NIL is unlimited. So,
right. Well, and I think that's where I was just about to say that. But I'm glad that Coach said that about BYU. It could be an exception to that, because not only can they afford the $20.5 million or whatever it ends up being for the rev share, they don't have a problem paying the NIL on top of that.
No.
And I tell you what, I think they're the only other school in the country that could be independent,
right?
Like Notre Dame.
And I loved the independence. It's just it was fine. It was very difficult finding people to play. Nobody wanted to play BYU, and we know why, right?
Right.
Who wants to lose to BYU? So it's very difficult being independent for scheduling, if for nothing else.
Right.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Bomber, we appreciate you coming in and giving us some perspective on your end of it. You know, we enjoy having you.
You guys are the best. I appreciate you having me on.
You're the man. You're the
Love
man.
you, brother.
Okay,
keep it rolling.
We'll see you guys later.
Brother.
Okay, bye-bye. Peace out.
Oh, Whiskers. Bomber Brown.
Bomber's a good feller.
Yeah, he is a good dude.
I just piss everybody off talking about the Big 12.
Every fucking time. They ain't worth the shit. They just ain't worth the shit.
They're not worth the shit. I'm just telling you, I believe that. And you know, you can say, well, how do you know? Well, I think I've coached and watched enough football that I can pretty well tell you if somebody's decent or not. And overall, that conference ain't worth a shit. When Texas and OU left, they went to the shit hole. And there, yeah, I'm not saying the whole thing that there's not a team or two that can compete like we saw with Arizona. But at the end of the day, guys, it's not a good conference. Yeah. And I don't care. And guys, I'm going to say this. I don't give a shit who disagrees with me.
What do you think? But is it any different in the ACC?
It's better than the fucking Big 12.
Really? You think so?
Not much, but it is better.
So there's a couple of teams that are better.
So let me ask you this. Let me just ask this simple question. How many national titles has the Big 12 won recently? You're correct. 0. How many in the ACC?
2.
2? Yeah. Two's bigger than
3. Actually, 3.
It's 3. Yeah, you're right. 3. 3's greater than 0. So I rest my case.
Well, it depends on how far back we're going. The last one was Texas's in what? 2009, I think it was. 2009. Sounds right. Okay. 2008, something like that. Anyway, it does. Maybe
I'm just saying they're
conferences don't win the titles, though. That's the whole thing. It just
right. No, I get that. I get that.
But you programs you got to be. Yeah. Look, coaches, players win the championships. That's the whole thing, and that's the hard part about it. Is that, which is just the reason why. I mean, we really should get off this. The point I was making is you can't get those guys that can win you national championships if you can't pay them.
Well, I'm going to finish with this last thing as well. If those teams in the Big 12 were worth of shit, they'd have gone with you guys to the SEC. Done.
Well, they weren't invited.
Exactly. Why? But that's my point. Why were they not invited? Because they're not worth a shit.
Well, I know Okie Light wasn't. Now I'll give you that. Yeah. Fuck Okie Light.
Negative and voicing their opinion are the same ones that can't pay their own bills. People that are negative and voicing their opinion are the same ones that can't pay their own bills.
Yeah, that's me. I can't pay my own bills.
Say Clint Moses says, "Let's keep cooking the Big 12." 2006 was the last time. That was when it was the 2005 season. 2006 national championship game. That's what it was. In the end, look, but we also know that what happened around all that time. At the end of that, I mean, Texas could have won another one if it hadn't been for Colt McCoy going down. They beat Texas. They beat Alabama that night. They would have.
But that was with Texas.
Correct.
And Oklahoma.
I agree. And Nebraska and all them other guys that were
they're no longer there.
Gone.
Now I'll tell you this: if Texas and OU went back to the Big 12, then I would have a hard time. I mean, I wouldn't even have a hard time. I couldn't say the Big 12 sucks.
Well,
it'd be impossible for me to say.
Getting Neelio all kinds of pissy over here. I can already feel it.
It. Hey, Neelio, I love you, but I don't give a shit if you're getting pissy. The Big 12 sucks.
Oh man. I got K-State winning that motherfucker this year. I got K-State winning.
The Big 12 takes me to another statement. Look at how many Big 12 schools are hoopster schools.
Hoop schools?
Yeah, basketball schools.
Yeah, that's where
they thrive. That's where they thrive. Not in football, in basketball. And you know what? That's great. If you're a basketball guy, that's great. I don't give a shit about it. But you know, if you love hoops and you love watching Tech basketball, hey, I applaud you. But you ain't gonna win in football.
Dude, stop being ridiculous. SEC exposed the guy. Don't be silly. Had to poach the Big 12. Yeah, Mizzou and A&M. Come on, bro. Come on, man. Fuck out of here with that shit. Mizzou. Drink sorry ass. They're gonna. It's a joke. They're gonna fall flat on their face with a shitty ass schedule this year. Watch them do it. Watch them do it. All right. Anyway, yeah, you got Neelio pissed. Don't be doing that. He's one of our boys too, man.
I love Neelio.
Dogging on the Big 12, man. And look, do I think that the Big 12 overall can win any national championship? I think it's going to be hard. I think it's going to be hard for the ACC to do it too. And just being real about it. But you have to give them access, and that's the whole argument that I've been trying to make this whole time. If you don't give them the same access that you give everybody else, you go in on merit, then I think you're missing.
And there's the key word: go in on merit.
Go in on merit, which means that you should probably.
And again, just because you win the Big 12 conference doesn't mean you ought to be in.
I think if we're gonna put in conference champions and they're one of the power conferences, then you need to put them in the playoff.
Yeah, but
they deserve the opportunity to get their ass kicked just like anybody else does. You know, I don't know. Anyway, let's move along.
Moving on. Yeah. Moving on.
Please, let's do. Why? And I know people love to do this too. Why do we love to dog on Shedeur Sanders so much? Why? What the hell? I understand that people want that he's not going to compete at the combine like he needs to. Why?
Who gives a shit?
Yeah, I don't think he's competing, or at least he's not going to throw whatever. You're hearing a bunch of people talking about
not doing anything, not running.
I don't know. I don't think so.
You know what, guys? If he doesn't, it's only here's the thing about it. I don't see why people get all worked up. It's his choice whether he does or he doesn't. And the second verse to that is, who gives a shit? Because he's probably gonna hurt himself more than he's gonna help himself.
Explain that. Explain what you mean.
Well, you know what? I don't want to be sitting there and not see him go through and compete with everybody. I like to see a little bit of that competition. Do you really have it in you to? Which I think he does. I'm not saying he doesn't, but you know what? What's your reasoning? That's my next question. What's your reasoning? Are you afraid to compete against these guys? I know the answer to that is no. But what is the reason?
Well, and he's saying
you just
he's
want
not
to be
going to work out
different.
for teams. He's not going to work out for teams. My guess is he's going to go and do meetings like they all do. But this isn't, first and foremost, before we even start talking about whether he does or doesn't play. Now, this is, the rumor is, and this is coming from ESPN, they're probably hearing it from somewhere inside there, right? Saying that he's not going to work out for teams. First off, how many times do the number one quarterbacks or the top 2 or 3 quarterbacks actually go and throw in these fucking things? They'd rather do it at their school where it's more controlled, exactly how they want it. They can run their own little scripted things and do what they want to do. And in the end, have we not seen enough out of Shedeur Sanders to know that there's a reason why they're going to pick him in the top 5 of the damn draft more than likely? I mean, I don't get it.
I mean, hey, listen, man. It blows my mind how I just feel like they're scared.
Who's scared?
The people that don't go to the combine and compete. Like, what are you scared of? You're scared to go to church, bro. I think they're scared.
Oh, stop it.
If you're that guy and you think you're that guy, go compete.
I'm going to tell you, if I was Shedeur Sanders, if I was Shedeur, I'd want to go show everybody, you know what? I'm so much fucking better than you son of a bitches.
Exactly right.
I don't agree with that.
I mean,
what's the point? You just got saying Coach and he probably hurts himself. Quit talking out of both sides of your fucking ass.
Oh, at the end, I'm telling you my perspective but I think he does hurt himself. But like I said, from my perspective, I don't give a shit if he does or he doesn't. I could give a damn about Shedeur Sanders.
But if I'm Shedeur, I'm trying to go show everybody I'm him.
That's
every chance I get.
Look, man, I think he is him anyway. But I think if there's the difference between him and Cam Ward, I think Ward has probably a bigger arm. I think he's a smarter, better player.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's a smarter, better player. I think
I want to see it.
You're not going to see it in this setting. What, him doing fucking shuttle drills?
Yeah, I want to see that. I want to see the 40.
I want to see his badass do it. I just want to see him do it.
All that.
Come on.
I want to see all that.
Silly talk. Him doing the shuttle drill and the fucking 40 is going to tell us if he's the best guy or not?
No. I just want to see him do it from my perspective.
So does everybody. But that's the whole thing. Is like, why would you?
Bro, you're prime time son.
You know what? Prime didn't go in and interview with most of the fucking teams.
What did he do? What did he do? He showed up, ran the 40, and left because he's fucking prime.
Right. Well, he was a corner. He needed to run the damn 40.
So Shedeur Sanders is Deion's son. He needs to run the 40.
He doesn't. No, he doesn't.
Yeah, he does.
His 40 time don't mean shit. It's his completion percentage that matters.
It does. It 100% does.
Hey, Jason, did I mention that the Big 12 sucks?
Stop it, man.
He's trying to hear it.
You're fucking killing me. Anyway, my thing is that I think we're moving the goalposts way too fucking much for these guys, man.
I think these dudes
way too much.
These dudes, like, I don't know, man. I just don't. The lack of competitive nature is scaring me.
What are you talking about? They had one win before they showed up at CU. They won 9 games last year.
I'm not talking about how many games they won. I'm talking about at an individual level.
Oh my!
The lack of wanting to compete against your peers.
I disagree.
That's what I'm talking about.
Do you not see him and Cam Ward out there working against each other, talking shit all the time to each other?
Yeah, do that at the combine. Don't do it for like a
combine matters, man. I don't think the combine matters.
Twitter, a little viral video. I don't give a shit about that.
Does the combine matter for them? Here's the thing: if the combine matters so much, they'd all be there. Everybody it's
invite, bro. It matters if you get invited.
Well, they didn't even invite Shiloh. He's going to get drafted. Shiloh's going to get drafted.
Think so?
Yeah.
Did he get invited to the combine?
No, he didn't.
Oh, I didn't think so.
But I think he's a 5th rounder. I think he's a 5th round guy. He's got enough speed.
I bet you if he got invited, he'd test. He'd do it all.
He's not a 1st rounder.
So, what is 1st rounder like? For 1st rounder just means you don't have to do shit.
I mean, I think that there's a point that, look, because Coach Roybal said it a second ago, all you can really do, if you're a 1st rounder who's likely to be in the top 3, what can you do besides hurt yourself in the combine? Go out there and throw it like shit.
Hey, that's when you got your pro day at Colorado to get back.
It's not worth the risk. It's not worth the risk to have a bad day. To slip and fall and hurt your back or some shit. Who knows? Anything could happen. Anything could happen.
That's scary talk right there, dude.
I'm not even talking. I'm just saying, if you're a 1st rounder, why do you need to do that? Why would you need to do that?
Why do all the other 1st round picks need to come out and compete?
Most of them don't.
Oh, come on.
They might run one thing, or
you're talking about all the D tackles, all them offensive tackles. Like,
okay, yeah,
they don't.
I guess
That's
some
what
of
I'm saying.
Some of those dudes.
What is so different about the quarterback position that they feel that they don't have to compete and they don't want to throw the ball in front of people?
Like, what is the difference? With a blanket.
That's all I'm saying. What makes him any different from any other football player? That's it. That's all I'm saying.
What makes him different? It's quarterback. You're a quarterback. Your job is not
ain't shit without an offensive line.
Sure.
That's my point. And them cats is out there competing, running 40s, doing drills.
Yeah. I think that the guys that need to go there, you know who they are. I know who they are. A guy like Shiloh, you need to see him do well there to get his draft stock up a little bit. I can see that.
And I ain't worried about Shadur Sanders anyway. I'm not that big of a Shadur fan, but I am worried about my Junction City boy, DJ Giddens, going and performing right. That's what I am worried about. I'm rooting for my boy DJ.
Me too.
You know what I mean?
I like DJ Giddens.
That's my guy.
I like DJ Giddens.
Ready for DJ to go perform, show these cats what's up.
I think but I would tell you that I don't think that Will Howard can help himself either. He just won the
game. Is he going to go throw? Is he going to compete?
I don't know if he is or not. I wouldn't. I wouldn't.
I bet he does.
Somebody's giving him bad advice if he does. I would go out on that national championship game-winning throw that was on the money down the field. That's the last thing I want anybody to see. That's the last thing I want anybody to see.
Bro, I don't know, man. This is just me.
I get what you're talking about, bro.
I'm fucking old school. I'm a little old school.
I am too. I get it.
All right. Bro,
go compete. I get it. Go play hard. Hey, listen, bro, you had to. I mean, you know, I'm telling you, that's what I think they should do. It's not what I'm saying that I would do, because I mean, we're gonna go play and freaking dumbasses and do it. You know what I mean? I don't think it's the right thing to do. I think we do it though. I get what you're saying.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I just think it's almost like, I don't know, these dudes like, they're getting paid so much money and they're doing all this, and they just, like, at some point people are just gonna be like, dude, what are you gonna do? Right? It's kind of like the problem with the NFL right now, or the NBA right now. You know what I mean? Like, they're getting paid all this money, and they're not playing. They're sitting out double headers and back to backs, and all that stuff. And just like, bro, come on, man.
No,
like,
I don't love that. I hate that shit.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, it's almost getting to that point with some of these college football teams and players, right? And it's just like, you want to pay, want this money, want NIL, and I'm not going to play, the bowl game. And it's, I don't know, it's just an overall bad look. And I wouldn't want to contribute to it. No. You know what I mean?
I think that the bowl game stuff is all about the culture that you have in fucking town.
Yeah.
In your house.
Yeah. And, it is what it is. Like, I get it. It's a different time. But I don't know, man. Like me, I'm trying to go out with my boys. You know what I mean? Like, I'm trying to ride out with my boys one last time. That's all. You know what I mean?
I can see that.
That's just me though. I'm different.
I think it depends on who you are, man. But also I think that you could not. The point I'm trying to make is I don't think you can dog on Shedeur for not competing in it when he doesn't have to.
His choice, like I said.
I'm not dogging on him. I just think it's weak. I just think it's weak as fuck. That's me.
Yeah. He was back in Manhattan recently seeing his younger bro, who is a redshirt freshman O lineman, and thought he mentioned he'd be in the team.
Will Howard's little brother is huge, bro. Let me tell you something. Seen him a couple times. That's a big ass kid.
Will Howard? Oh, he's a big boy.
No, Will's a big kid, but his little brother.
His little brother, the lineman? Oh shit, I can imagine.
Big as shit. Same class as Mike. Yeah, he's big.
Well, Will's a big guy. I was going to say Will's a big guy.
Yeah, he's a big kid.
He's a big kid. And listen, I saw him make some throws. The reason I said what I said, shit, he made a couple of throws in that playoff that you're like, oh shit, I didn't even know he could do that.
Yeah, he can. No, he had his moments at K-State for sure.
He did. He
had his moments for sure.
Shit, in our game, he had some great runs.
Yeah, he made some big. He made a big jump. You know, he got thrust in on a couple times. You know, as a young cat for when Skyler got hurt. But yeah, he made a big jump. You know, especially that year they won the Big 12. Man, he really improved.
But you know what? And he improved going to Ohio State. He improved going to Ohio State because of the people around him.
Well, damn. Hell yeah, he had. I mean, shit. When you got a receiving core like that, all three of them some bitches were unreal.
Hell, I could throw them bastards.
Oh, I know. But if you think about, here's what I think that Will Howard went through more shit probably than any case quarterback I could remember in a long time. They hated him when he got there. It felt like.
Yeah.
It almost feels like a Dylan Gabriel situation with him, with the fans. They just never loved him, except for that 1 year, and then they were right off of him again the next year. You know what I mean? Yeah, and don't get me wrong, he did piss down his leg a few times to kind of earn some of it.
Yeah,
but it was.
I think when you get a young stud that you bring in Avery Johnson, you know, it's similar.
Is a bad dude too, man.
It's similar to the Gabriel Jackson Arnold thing, man. It's just we got to get this young cat. And listen, man, I've never I've been on there, you know, especially probably said it on this pod for sure. Like I would have loved to have Dylan Gabriel one more year going into the SEC, man.
Man, we were screaming about it all last year at the end of the year.
Yeah, that's just me though, man. You know, all the outside noise and all that stuff, the pressure from the fan base and all that stuff, you know, it might not be the best move, but you know, you succumb to that pressure. And you know, I think Avery's the man. I love me some Avery Johnson. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Avery Johnson's a bad dude. I think he's a bad dude, bro.
Good kid. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. I'm a big fan of Avery, man. I hope he has a hell of a year, man. And but I mean, I think you're gonna see a big jump from what Avery was this year to next year. And he's gonna benefit from Matt Wells, bro.
Fucking
he's gonna benefit from Matt Wells, and I'm anxious to see what happens, man. I really am.
Underrated move that they made there. I didn't realize that Kleiman hadn't made him the play caller. I didn't know he was a co-coordinator even, and that he was.
Yeah, well, their offensive coordinator, their O-line offensive coordinator left and went to coach the O-line at the Cowboys.
Cowboys, correct. Right.
My boy.
He's an Oklahoma guy. That dude's an Oklahoma guy.
Who's that?
Wasn't it? Oh shit, what's his name?
Riley? Connor Riley?
Yeah.
No, I don't think he was Oklahoma.
Who's the guy that was the tight ends coach was an Oklahoma guy?
LePack.
Yeah.
No, Connor Riley, he's a Omaha boy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he went to Creighton Prep.
His play calling wasn't great, bro.
Yeah.
Ryan Lepak, yeah. He's a stud, man. I like the dude as an O-line coach. I don't love him as a coordinator, and I think that Matt Wells should have been the damn. Hey, he should have been OU's OC last year. Period. End of story. Yeah. And I have a hard time believing. You know, maybe we talk about this in the morning, but I will say this. You know, we talked a little bit about this whole Seth Luttrell thing. By the way, Seth Luttrell does get hired today by Josh.
By who?
Josh Heupel at Tennessee. Don't forget that I told you guys what I thought about about Seth Luttrell and what he was doing. Don't forget.
Yeah.
I think he was trying to implode it from within. I think we've heard enough to know that that's the case. And now what's going on? Automatically he's there with Josh. If the people that are telling you that Josh Heupel doesn't want to be head coach at Oklahoma are lying to you. They're lying to you. Plain and simple. I'm going to leave it at that. Maybe we talk more about it later.
That's interesting. That's very interesting. Very interesting.
Yeah. Things that make you go,
I like to hear more.
Well, I believe that I think that he was trying to implode it. I've heard things that he said since he left. And we know that there was zero. I mean, he went in there and tried to rule it with an iron fist. He was supposedly a co-coordinator. Joe John didn't have a bit of say until he ended up, until they finally fired Luttrell. But we know for sure. I mean, even his brother-in-law, who's Bill Bedenbaugh, had nothing that he could say to the guy.
Yeah.
He was making every decision. Let's just say this. When you're going into the Tennessee game and your running back coach doesn't realize, or your running back coach and your O-line coach are on different pages about what the blocking scheme is going to be on Friday, that's bad. That's not good. It's just not good. There's no communication between that. I mean, coach, how does that happen? So
it'll never happen.
I don't think it happens by chance.
No, it doesn't.
No. It's intentional.
Okay, yeah, he wants as many former Sooners as he can get. He wants his best buddy that was in his wedding and stuff like that. But I'm telling you, I think that there is a group of people at Oklahoma that want Josh there, and Josh wants to be there. And I think that Seth was trying to make that happen. That's just my opinion. I don't have the hardest.
I love me a good conspiracy, bro. I love me a good conspiracy. I like it,
man. I didn't call it wrong when I said that Lincoln Riley was throwing fucking football games on his way out the door and recruiting for USC. I wasn't wrong about that.
Well, speaking of Lincoln Riley and USC, they're doing a hell of a job recruiting, boys.
They always start off.
It's early.
So early. They're just going to have multiple dudes flip, bro.
I was going to say, do you remember how many guys flipped from that freaking program last year? Justice Haynes and
yeah, it's early.
Yeah,
it's early.
We'll see. We'll see.
You know,
they got to go out there and win fucking football games, coach. They got to go win some football games.
I know. You know, I was surprised we lost our recruiting coordinator to them. But, you know, they paid him an arm and a fucking leg.
Well, yeah, and he went to be the GM, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We ended up with a better one anyway.
Did you? Who was the GM?
Trying to think of his name. Came out of the NFL. He was with the Lions.
He was a front office guy with the Lions?
Yes.
Oh. Have we finally settled on a new GM yet, or are we still
Mike Martin? Mike Martin.
Okay. Yeah. I don't think we've really settled on one. But of course, our GM waited to leave until after he did his job and kind of signed the class and all that shit, right?
Yeah, yeah. Hell, I was taken care of.
Well. Yeah, listen, yeah, that's the thing about Tebow. Yeah, he had the number one class in the country this time last year too. He ended up at what, 14, 15, something like that.
Yeah.
all those defensive linemen that ended up at Georgia or Texas or somewhere other than LA.
Yep.
No Juju. No, I mean, he's losing all these damn receivers too. How are you losing receivers if you're Lincoln Riley? Quarterbacks. That doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense. Make it make sense. Although I do think that Jaden Mahava is pretty damn good. I think he's pretty damn good. It might have changed what they were about had they not waited so long to pull the trigger on playing him. Is BV thinking about stopping spring games? God, I hope so. Don't want to be the only one having one. Because
Yeah, we are
going to be watching you. Then they're really going to be watching your boys. I think spring games are over, fellas. I think they're over. What do you guys think? Do you think they're going to play anymore? Are they going to play one at Notre Dame, or are they done?
We are. Fuck yeah. We don't follow everybody else's lead. We do our own shit.
Huh. I don't know. I think if they play it this year, this will be the last year for OU for sure. But I don't think they're playing it. I just tell you, I don't think they are. I think you can have a scrimmage in-house and not have to. I mean, it sucks for the fans. It sucks for me. I want to go.
Well, and it sucks for the players, in my opinion. That's kind of a fun.
I want to know how schools, when they canceled the spring game, how they're going to make up recruiting wise, right? Because it's a big recruiting loss, in my opinion. And I think, Oklahoma's got I'm hearing they got a robust visitor list for the spring game. Since a lot of schools have canceled theirs, like kids are looking to go somewhere.
Yeah, they do use it as part of their recruiting stuff. Yeah, no doubt.
I 100% would. At least this year when everybody else is canceling, and maybe next year, man. Like, what teams that are canceling their spring games right now are teams that what they're basically telling me is we're not too sure about our guys and their commitment.
They call your team trash because that's what they are, trash.
Yeah, that's what I feel like. I just feel like they're not confident in their players and who they got, and they're worried they'll get poached. But and you know what? Like, I don't think maybe I'm a homer, but I think the kids that we got, they're bought in, man. And I think it's a little bit, the culture is probably a little bit different than most teams around the nation, right? And it's just my opinion, but I just feel like it's chicken shit, man. Like, I don't know.
Yeah. And I think the ones that anybody would be worried about, it's not your starters. Your starters ain't going nowhere. It's those guys that maybe they hadn't seen them before, and they're like, shit, that's second string.
Guys,
I'm play here.
I'm going to throw out a different perspective. We always talk about the players. And guys, you guys know, you two know better than anybody. It's a damn grind. 24/7, 365. It's a grind. You know what? Spring ball is a time where, part of that culture, it's time to have a little fun. You know what? You pick sides, and it's time to just kind of let your hair down and cut loose and have some fun. And I don't think you can, if all you do is grind all the time, you're going to lose something in your program. And I think the spring game is something that helps you to kind of, and you're still working hard. They're still working hard, but the sense of having a little bit of fun goes a long damn ways. And I think people are going to lose out on that by not playing spring games. Along with what you're talking about is the recruiting piece. I think that's a important time for recruiting.
And I just like, it's just revenue too. Like, it's a big money making.
It's a big fundraiser. And again,
I'm surprised Nebraska let that fly. You know what I mean? Like I really am. Like I'm actually
bit of a weak.
Hell, that may be the only game they win.
I'm disappointed in my home state. All right, for y'all letting that happen. Just letting Matt Rule come into Kessler. I'm a little upset with it, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, they sold that joint out on the spring game. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
I don't know how they let that happen, man. The state I once lived in has changed, man.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree.
Tell us what you think.
I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it when I saw it. I was like, damn, that's crazy.
It's kind of wild, right? It's a little
Absolutely. Bit wild. And I can get it at other places, but Nebraska?
Yeah, man. Blue blooded and all. Blue blood and all.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's a huge mistake. I do.
I do too. But hey, man, we'll see what happens. I'm looking forward to it, though. You know what I mean? It's about to be March.
Yeah.
Hey, man, it's actually going quicker than I thought, but it's, you know how it is. This is the time when it starts kind of dragging a little bit because we're still getting excited for it. It's still so far away, but it's like, it ain't that far away, really. It doesn't take that long. The spring goes by pretty damn fast.
I'm ready to go drive down to Norman and watch a practice or two, man.
Yeah.
Shit, I'm ready for that.
Oh, yeah. Hey, man, we need to take the sticks up there. You can take your ass whipping, and then we'll go watch the ball out, and you know.
Yeah. Oh, that shit. I got plenty of time.
I know you do.
I'm gonna go watch some Big 12 spring games.
Yeah, I bet you are. Hey, you know, I don't even know if Coach McGuire's going to let your grandson come back after all the shit we've been talking about then.
Shit, he was whipping his players' asses last year.
He kind of was, man. Hey, Big Lubbock, what are y'all going to do this week? Are y'all going to do something this year with all that money they spent?
They better.
Have we discussed about OU being one of five of the only undefeated baseball and softball teams? I hadn't discussed it yet, but I tell you what, that baseball team is something else. The girls, you expect it from the softball program, although they've got a lot of freshmen that are killing it. I don't know that. I think it's awfully early to get too hyped up about either one of them. But when it comes to OU women's softball, I mean, come on now.
Yeah.
It's the best program in the country.
Cut above the rest.
Yeah.
There's
Patty girls, and then there's everybody else.
Exactly. Exactly. You know, I was pretty excited about our women's basketball team in Notre Dame, and I still am, but hell, we got beat in a double overtime game against North Carolina State, which it sucked. But I guess at the end of the day, it's probably better that it happened now than down into the tournament. So, you know, we were ranked number 1 in the country. But
well, they had the injury. Did they catch a bad injury or something?
Yeah, we just
kind of fell.
I tell you what, you know, North Carolina State. We played them at their place. They had to play the best game of their lives, but you know, at their place, they were 19-0 playing at home. But we go in there and we didn't play real solid, but we hit a 3 to take them into overtime. We hit a 3 with like 0.6 seconds. Yeah. And we go into overtime, and then they beat us in overtime. But they were, I think, 20. I want to say it was 24 of 26 from the free throw line.
Yeah, that'll do it right. Hey, free throws will win you fucking basketball games, bro.
That in itself won them the game, but they played a perfect ball game against us. Awesome. They really did. But
Rule had better show significant improvement this next fall. Fusker fans are all saying they did not sign up for mediocre with him. At least that's what NU fans are saying around here. Yeah. Well, we all know that they're not. It's kind of like Oklahoma. The expectations, they don't align all the time with what reality is. because they haven't been that in a long time.
It's been a while.
It killed their pipeline to Texas, man. It fucked them. It really did. Because you're not going to be able to. You're not beating Michigan. You're not beating Ohio State for Midwest kids. You're not. You're not.
Yeah.
You might be able to win Nebraska and Kansas and shit. But you know
Big
what?
Lubbock.
He had a lot of get back.
The JUCO kids were who they got a lot of those kids back in the day whenever Tom Osborne was there. The JUCO was, yeah.
Yeah, they had a little in in Cali. They was getting some of them Cali kids. Yeah. Nebraska was
Big
it.
Lubbock.
Yeah.
Big Lubbock. You really believe that?
He does. Texas Tech will be in the college football in the playoff. Take it to the bank.
Take it to the bank.
If they go to 16 teams, I might agree with you. So they might.
He's got to be calling a Big 12 championship then. They were only one game out of the contention for the championship game
this year.
Going away with Prop 48 is what you think hurt them? Okay. So I'm not gonna say shit. Done.
I'll tell you what, here was hiring well, who's that dude they hired?
Solich? Are you hating on Solich?
No, after Solich.
Fuck, what was his name, coach?
From the NFL, man. Came from the NFL, got rid of started West Coasting.
The defensive coach.
Callahan.
Oh, Bill
Callahan,
yeah.
Yeah, that was a.
But I'm about to head out of here, man. I gotta go finish up some stuff here tonight, man. I appreciate y'all having me on
for a while. That's cool.
Yeah.
Appreciate you
Great
coming.
to see you, brother.
It's always good to talk.
Yeah, bro. Great to see you, Coach.
I'll shoot you a link for the if you want to come in.
All right, yep.
A little bit more about the conspiracy theories if you want to.
Yeah, let's do it, bro. Let's do it. I'm ready.
All right.
Do some research. Laying in bed here later.
All right, man. All right. Later. Yeah, Callahan was not very good at Nebraska.
No,
so that's a fact. That was a fact. He wasn't very good in the NFL either. He took over Gruden's team. Yeah, they went to the Super Bowl. They got the brakes beat off them, though.
Big Lubbock.
Yeah, but wait. Let me get this one. Okie Light had 20 of 22 returning starters coming back last year. 0-9. Y'all lost to Wyoming to start out the year a couple of years ago. We're going to have to see it first, big guy. We're just
I was going to say, I got to. And you know what? I got to tell you, I'm a big Joey McGuire fan.
Me too.
We both are. But they're just not getting it done. Yeah, great. They had a great number one ranking in the recruiting portal, in the portal, and but at the end of the day, I need to see it. I need to see it on the field. I don't see it happening.
Wait. 3 defensive tackles and a rushing in the portal play. Hold on a minute. Now, here's what you got to understand. Most of those cats that are at those positions in the portal, are they great?
Are they
great?
They're there because somebody was kicking their ass at the last place they were at.
Oklahoma State misjudged their talent. Well, that's possible. That's possible. I think
I know one damn thing, Big Lubbock. They misjudged their head coach for many years.
Oh shit.
And still misjudging him.
Oh yeah, that's a fact. Oops. Let me I got you, coach.
Oh, here I want to, and this is off the college game, but I want to talk about Zach Martin's retirement. And I don't know if y'all have seen these numbers, but guys, this is incredible. Listen to this number. Zach Martin passing snaps played in his career 6,659 passing snaps. Okay? That's a lot of snaps. How many holding penalties do you think he might have gotten over those 6,659 snaps? Anybody want to guess in here that doesn't already know the answer? You know the answer.
I'm going to say
Keep
less
it
than
to
100.
yourself.
I'm going to say less than 100. That's a shit ton of snaps, too.
Anybody else want to guess that doesn't know the answer already?
I don't know the answer to this.
No, you don't.
He said, no, you don't. On paper, Tech has won the Big 12. And you know what? They don't play the games on paper there, Big Lubbock. They play it on grass or turf.
Well, you don't follow, like he said, don't follow OSU. OSU said they were going to be the king of the hill. Yeah, they were at the ass end of it.
Zias?
Well, I'm going to give y'all this answer. The answer is 0.
In 6,000 snaps, he never had a holding call.
Almost 7,000 snaps. 0 holding calls.
Son of a bitch. Yeah. Minus
passing snaps.
Wow. Brother, that's
that's incredible.
That's incredible. With the guys that you're going up against in the NFL?
Yeah.
Oh. Aaron Donald to the world and shit like that? Shit.
That's just an incredible number.
It is.
And by the way, we all know where he played college football, right?
I know who Zach Martin played for. Yeah, they put them offensive linemen in the league, kind of like Bill Beatonbow.
Yeah. And we're going to be good. We're going to be good there again this
Georgia,
year.
Notre Dame, and Oklahoma, baby. That's where they go to get really good on the O-line.
Yep.
It's been like that for a while. He was a sneaky bastard. Well, that's without saying too, Sooner in Texas, because you got to be that guy. Now, I wonder how many Trent has. I don't think Trent gets a bunch of them either. Trent just punch you in the mouth. You know that I was looking back and they were showing 40 times for the big guys. Some of the fastest lineman times in combine history, Oklahoma linemen. Trent.
It doesn't surprise me.
Well, Trent's a freaking animal, dude. It's just unbelievable, right? Complete Hall of Fame.
Sooner in Texas.
Hall of Famer for sure. Absolutely. No doubt.
Sooner in Texas. He was a sneaky bastard.
It's like a sneaky bastard. I like it.
What's up, my boy Shotty?
Shotty Parker. What were you? Hey, well, what are they going to have? Are they going to have the spring game there in Georgia? Are they done with it? It makes me wonder, because here's the thing. I mean, look how quick did Sark move off that motherfucker? Quick, dude. And then Riley, boom, done, over with. They're falling. I wouldn't be surprised if
Riley's still trying to get out of our game.
What a fuck. Wow.
You know, in 2 more years we'll have been playing for 100 years.
There's the big, not to go back into that whole conversation. If I'm worried about college football, that's what I'm worried about right there.
Yeah.
Rivalry.
The rivalries. Yeah.
Going by the wayside. It's bullshit, and I don't love it. No, we big boys, we play. Look, and I think that, you know what? I think that Oklahoma may play it because I don't think that they're worried about losing anybody to the damn portal. Unless it's somebody that they probably want to lose. I think they're trying to figure out what's going to happen in their running back room. There ain't enough footballs for that shit for all the guys they got. And I think that there's some guys that they probably ran out of time already. I don't know that Javonte completely ran out of time. I think Gavin Sawchuk has. When you got X-Rob and you've got Torrey Blaylock coming in and you've got Taylor Tatum, there's not a lot of carries left. There's not a lot of carries left. So I don't know. TCU, TCU's getting players. Sonny knows what he's doing. That's what, Sonny can recruit, man. Sonny can recruit.
I tell you who's gone to the shithole is Utah.
Yeah, that's a 1-year problem, bro. They didn't have a fucking quarterback.
You think it is?
Yeah. Dude, it's Witt. I think Coach Witt's still one of the best coaches in the country.
Oh,
I think he's on the end of his year. I think he's at the end. I think he's a couple of years away from retiring. But I also know that he has a pipeline into Dallas that he goes in there and gets guys that he wants out of there all the time. 3 stars out the ass coming out of the Metroplex to go to Utah.
So Big Lubbock, who in the hell did Baylor get?
They got a good quarterback is why they like him.
But that's all? You got to have more than a damn quarterback.
They won their last 6 games last year. They won their last 6 games. They were right there. Hey, listen, man, I I was just as surprised as you were. Just as surprised as you were.
Keep nosediving, Baylor.
Well, TTU has played Baylor every year since 58, but not playing this year. Wow. See what I'm talking about? And that's one of the things that the Big 12 hasn't done a very good job of is recognizing those rivalry games. So, okay, yeah, John, I meant to bring this up, what you were saying earlier. Spring games will turn into cash cow rivalry exhibition games.
Now, I could go for that.
Image OU OSU game in the middle of April for money. I don't think it changes I don't think it's going to be a widespread thing, though, because here's the deal. I think that unless they get rid of the spring portal, I think that they're dying. I really do. Because here, coaches are copycats, man. When one does it, they all do it.
They all do it.
And I've said this myself. I don't want to be the one program. I said this to Bishop Frank the other day. I said, shit, I don't want to be the only one that's doing it in the damn SEC. That we're leaving our guys out there to get poached or messed with. Now, again, I think that a lot of it has to do with your culture and the way that you're recruiting them. If you're just recruiting them on money, then you probably should worry. You should probably worry. But if you're recruiting them on more than money, then it is what it is. Oh, this is funny. This may be the comment of the night.
That gets the comedy of the night.
Yeah, that's some good shit. Tennessee winning it all after getting Seth Latrell. Yep. I'm telling you guys, he was a plant. The dude was a plant.
Well, and obviously there was people higher up that wanted him to be a plant.
There's no 2 ways around it, Coach. I'm telling you, there's you know how it is. There's different factions within the group of alums. It's always like that. There's more than a couple at Texas, but there's a group that, they're big on. There was the group that loved Lincoln, and there was the group that loves Josie and Coach Stoops.
Yep.
And the group that loves Lincoln loves Josh Heupel too.
Sure.
And I love Josh Heupel. I do. I don't think it's the right time yet, but I think would I have a problem if BV doesn't work out them hiring Josh? Probably not. If you can win at Tennessee after the way they've been, And what he took over there was not good.
No, he's done a great job.
He does. And think about it. They were in deep shit when he got there.
Yep. They were in trouble.
I don't know, Shawty. Here's the thing. We need to go to non-starters scrimmaging different schools in the spring. I don't know about that. It's the non-starters that you got to worry about getting poached. Man, those second and third stringers could play here. That's your depth pieces, bro. I don't know, man. I just feel like it's a thing of the past unless they get rid of the spring portal. And I don't know that they're gonna. In fact, I think somebody probably challenges it, and I don't know that it even matters. Think about what happened at Wisconsin, folks. The kid had signed his NIL deal. I don't know when he signed it. He had an NIL deal in place. Some people have even said that it wasn't even a deal that it was like the parameter of some kind of real contract, right? But it wasn't. They told him, no, you ain't going nowhere. He wanted to get in the portal. They wouldn't let him get in the portal. So what did he do? Disenrolled, went to Miami anyway. Guess what the NCAA said? Not a fucking thing. Nothing they can do. Toothless.
Oh, no doubt. No doubt.
Oh, yeah, well, of course. But the thing is that this is... How can you not love... I mean, how can you not love Brent Venables if you're a Sooner fan?
Thank you.
I'm just saying. But in the end, I love Josh too, man. I love Josh.
I'm not a Sooner fan.
I think that Josh would be a good choice as a head coach. I don't know though.
I'm not a Sooner fan, and I think he's a hell of a football. Coach Venables is a good coach, and he's going to get there.
Yeah, I think he is. Look, we talked a lot about this in the last few weeks, and we're gonna. I mean, this will be a all the time theme. But if you think about, I mean, son of a bitch, man, for six wins with that kind of offense. I mean, shit, man. That tells you how really good that defense was. Just competency in any way, and a quarterback that's not pissing down his legs.
Big Love, have I got? Go ahead, Jason.
No, I love this. This is funny.
Big Love, have I got a deal for you, brother? Can you put that back up there, Jason?
Which one?
The Tennessee won't make the.
Oh, there it is.
So I got a deal for you, Big Lubbock. For 100 skins, I bet you Tennessee's in and Texas is out. And if it's vice versa, if Tech's in and Tennessee's out, I owe you. Please say yes.
What's the bet?
He's saying Tennessee won't make the college football playoff, and Tech's going to.
Damn, man, that's ballsy.
You know what, my brother? I don't know what you're smoking over there in Lubbock, but you must be coming over to New Mexico and buying whatever you're smoking. But if you'd like to put 100 skins on that, I'd love to go with it. I just wow.
The Fire Joe C crowd. I don't know that I'm in that crowd. I'm not sitting here saying we got to fire anybody today. Okay. That's not where I'm at. Now, do I think that Joe C is probably coming towards he's closer to the end of his career than he is the start of it? Yes. By quite a bit. But I also think he's done a lot of damn good things. I know that, I mean, it's easy to sit here and talk about these coaches that haven't done this or haven't done that. Man, Porter Moser, shit, man. I mean, he won at Loyola. It's not as hard to do that there. I mean, doing that there, what? Okay. Nobody expected you to. There's a little bit different deal here. And I'll tell you this much. The transfer portal in NIL has changed college basketball a hell of a lot more than it's changed college football. And it's changed college football a lot. Wholesale changes on teams year after year. I don't know how you're supposed to do it. And on top of that, you don't have the arena. You don't have the fan support. People are bitching about Porter Moser an awful lot, but they don't go out there and support the program. Well, you got to win first. Nope. Sometimes it takes the support first to get behind them. Don't get me wrong. They've started off really good and ate shit for like 3 years in a row. I get it. And I think it's probably time that he has to go. That being said, I don't know that, how's that Joe C's fault? There were other teams that would love to have hired Porter when they got him, just so you know. And I'm not taking up for him. I'm not saying that he shouldn't get fired. I'm not. Again, basketball is a different game too. It's a different game. But the other thing that nobody's talking about, the Big 12 is not the best basketball conference anymore. The SEC is. The SEC is.
They think they are, though.
I know they do.
Big Lubbock must drive over to Hobbs a lot. I think he hits all our weed stores because he's high as hell.
Hey, did you see that? Wow. Did you see the name of that new one out here? The new dispensary. It's from dairy to dank.
Yeah, dank. Yeah,
that's bad.
From dairy to dank.
Dairy to dank. It's good stuff.
That's a big old place too.
Yeah, you know who they are, don't you? They used to own Nature's Milk, Nature's Dairy.
Oh, is that who it is?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
No wonder that's the name of it.
They had cash to start with, baby.
Hey, Big Lubbock, no response on the skins, brother?
When are they going to put the dumpster fire known as Auburn? I don't know. Well, he's recruited. He's in the top 5 in recruiting. We're going to see how he did pick Jackson Arnold to come be his quarterback. He's going to be on the menu week 1.
Neilio, you hanging out with Big Lubbock?
Now this I knew. This I knew was coming. I didn't know that it was finally there, Kimberly K. But what's up with Norman, the city of Norman, not wanting to get that done? Doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. Again, I don't know. I'm not going to sit here and just put it. I'm not saying it's all Joe C. But I will say this. I don't believe that Brent Venables made the hire of Seth Luttrell. And I know that he wanted to fire him a hell of a lot earlier than he was allowed to. And that wasn't on anybody but Joe C. So if I got an issue with him, it's that shit, the Seth Luttrell stuff. I'm not sure where he's at on this. I don't know that he's really an ally to Brent Venables. But I don't think he's not either. I think he's hired the dude, man. I don't know. I think there's a lot of different people saying a lot of different shit around the program. A lot. I know that he loves this program and he wants to win as much as anybody does. I don't know. Out here, they got one out here called Rolling Stone. Yeah.
Yeah, I love it.
That's awesome. Yeah. There was one in Vegas. What did they call it? Pre-Munchie. Pre-Munchie.
Pre-Munchie.
Yeah. Bama, LSU, South Carolina will make it before Tennessee. South Carolina's not making it, man.
Hey, I'm telling you, I'm done reading reading his posts.
South Carolina, are you really serious? Come on, man. If you believe in Shane Beamer, I'm believing in you less right now, Big Lubbock.
Man, I used to buy into Big Lubbock, but I lost. He lost me tonight.
Struggling here. Nah, listen. Hey, I'm glad that the folks are excited about their Texas Tech Red Raiders over there in Lubbock. They should be.
Yeah.
It's good to spend the money, but I tell you, here's what we're going to find out this year. We're going to find out if Joey knows how to identify them or not,
guys,
and coach them up once they get done.
Same old shit. Gonna be same old shit.
Yeah.
Same old shit, different day.
Why is this the case, Neilio? Why wouldn't you want to play ball with OU? It irritates the city of Norman irritates me. It's weird. SEC is a one-year wonder in men's basketball. Come on, bro. You got to stop. You got to stop. They played for the national championship last year. They had a Final Four team the year before that and the year before that. And none of those were Kentucky. None of those were Kentucky, by the way.
Told you, man. I'm done reading this post.
Yeah, we got to go anyway, Coach. We've been going for a while. Man, I tell you what, we're getting a lot of views. I don't know what's going on still on YouTube. I got, guys, folks, we've had only about 400 and something viewers here on YouTube. If you're watching us in Twitter, I appreciate that. We've had over 1,000 viewers in Twitter. Now, we're not monetized in Twitter, so do me a favor. Pop over to the channel on YouTube, hit the like button, become a subscriber, help us out, because this is how we are able to continue bringing you content week after week after week. Right now, I'm still a little concerned that we might be under the old shadow ban a little bit, not like we were, but our numbers are still not there. And I guarantee you, they have actually platformed our shows. The last piece of evidence I needed, 47%, they haven't put the show up there for people to see. My click-through rate has stayed the same. Something's not right. Now, I think it is being seen more than it was, but it's still not as much as it should be. So do us a favor if you're over there and watching this on Twitter. We appreciate it. Make sure you hit that like button. I'm going to work on getting, obviously trying to get monetized there, but it's not exactly the same. I don't even really know how it works very well. So we're working at it. I think I got a little ways to go. But yeah, do me a favor, jump over. It's at HOF-CFB right here on YouTube. You can just become a subscriber, hit that like button. If you just do that part, it helps us out a lot. You can become a channel member for as low as $2.99 a month, $3.99 a month. It helps us out a ton as well. Super chats, all that stuff. The easiest way and the free way to help us, and it really helps the most, is just to make sure you hit the like, guys. Really is. Okay. So we appreciate it.
Or thumbs up or thumbs down.
I don't know that the thumbs down thing is really helping us lately. I think that may be part of the problem.
That may be part of the problem.
I don't know, shit.
So are you telling me I got to quit saying the Big 12 sucks?
Yeah, I wish you would.
Okay. Maybe that's hurting us.
Just for a while. I don't think that is. I don't know what it is. I'll tell you what I think it is. It's some little bitches on another channel's viewers that think that they're doing somebody a favor.
Big Lubbock, let me tell you this. I like Joey. I spoke very highly of Coach McGuire as he was coming into Lubbock.
Joey fan.
But just because I like him doesn't make him a winning football coach. And at this point, they're not doing what they need to get done in Lubbock, and they haven't for years. It goes way back to the Pirate.
Which one? Other than him, who did?
Well, and you go back to it goes all the way back to Spike Dykes. Shit.
Much as I like Spike, he didn't
Some of
win.
you,
He didn't win.
some of you don't even know Spike Dykes, but he would win. He'd beat a Texas, and he would he'd upset some people here and there, but Spike never really won a lot of ball games. And I love Spike. He had to be the funniest football coach that's ever coached the game of football. He was hilarious. And obviously I like his son Sonny Dykes.
I'm a Sonny fan.
Yeah,
Sonny's good people, man.
Yeah,
Sonny likes him some Coach Roybal too. Apparently, Neilio not so much anymore. Look at this. You earned this one tonight too. You earned that motherfucker.
Hey, it's all good.
It's
all good.
We love you, Neilio. We love you, Neilio. I do anyway.
I love Neilio. I know he doesn't like what I have to say about the Big 12, but I love Neilio. Very knowledgeable person.
Oh yeah,
brings a lot of great information to the group.
He's got about as much of that useless information for any conversation other than what we're talking about as anybody I know.
He's pretty impressive.
Even more so than me. I mean, shit, he's gotten me on a few of them lately. I got to quit arguing with him about shit.
Oh yeah, he's tough to beat. He's tough to beat.
Quit arguing about any of that kind of shit. All right, man. We've been going for 2 hours and 12 minutes. Feels like long enough. We appreciate it. Hey man, yeah, I appreciate it. And Sooner in Texas, you're probably right. There's a lot of little weird shit going on. I can think of where it's probably coming from. I don't really care. We're always going to bash the Longhorns,
Has finally returned. Fuck your brand.
Texas sucks. It's 9:54 Central Time. Texas still sucks. So there it is. They're going to fall back to earth this year. We just know that's the case. I appreciate everybody coming out though tonight, checking us out. As I said, we've had over 400 folks, 450 now in here in the YouTube stream. So make sure you come in, pop that in there. If you're watching us there even on the posting, we're getting a lot of views on Twitter, but we don't have a bunch of likes or anything. So it'd be better if we did. So yeah, I got to figure it all out. But man, I appreciate everybody coming in again, as always. Coach, anything else you want to add before we get out of here? All right, guys. What's up, Coach?
No, I'm good. Hey, thank y'all for all coming in and giving your input and your thoughts, and y'all are just so impressive, and y'all impress me every time I listen, and the things you come up with and the thoughts and the ideas that you bring to the table are impressive. So thank you guys.
True.
We love y'all.
True.
Y'all make the show what it is.
Absolutely. We appreciate everybody coming in. Big Lubbock, welcome anytime. We love having you. Appreciate everybody, though. Everybody who comes in and makes this part of your week to come and hang out with me and Coach and Big Bo. Coach Ricks, I guess they had a transformer got hit over there in Charlotte, so he's still out of power from what I
geez.
So, yeah, no dice on that, but appreciate him coming in as well. Make sure you guys get over there to that channel as well. Marcus Dent at the Gridiron Classic as well. All the guys that you've seen. Hey, Bomber coming in and hanging out with us for a little while, taking some heat from old Coach here as well. Make sure you get over there and check out the Big 12 Mafia, the College Football Mafia. That channel is doing great. They do a great job over there all the time. JJ Kitchen, all of our guys, man. We love them all. Unfair Sports with Coop and Jay and all those fellas. And appreciate everybody. We will see you all on the next one.